The education system isn't failing. It's actually succeeding at its original purpose. The problem is that purpose was designed for the 1800s. Classrooms, grades, bells, subjects. Regardless of age, we all have a similar experience going through the education system, but almost all of it was designed for a world that no longer exists. Today we'll be breaking down the system behind schooling, what it was designed to do, how it works, and why its structure still reflects the time period it was created for, the Industrial Revolution. The foundations of today's school system were originally built in the late 1800s and early 1900s during a time of rapid industrialization. Factories were expanding quickly, and they needed workers that could read, follow instructions, work on schedules, and perform standardized tasks. This was a problem at the time as a large portion of the population, especially in rural areas, was illiterate as people were being trained to work in agriculture and not in factories. Governments began to realize that they needed a scalable way to educate millions of children all at once. So they created a system that resembled what children would experience once they grew up and got to the factory floor. Students were grouped by age, so teachers could deliver lessons to similarly prepared students. The school day was divided into fixed time blocks to make the flow of each day more predictable to both students and teachers, with bells that signaled when class was starting or over, so that classes could move in an orderly fashion, similar to factory shifts. Curriculum became standardized, so students everywhere would be learning the same material and ideas. And centralized administration was put in place so that policies could be replicated across districts and states. All of these elements were engineered so that the education system could be scalable, with predictable output at the national level. And this system was a massive success that worked exactly as intended. The way it was structured allowed schools to educate more students than ever before while maintaining uniformity. One teacher was able to educate many students all at once, and administrators could measure student performance and enforce similar policies across not just classrooms, but entire districts and even states. Students everywhere learned from consistent lessons, which helped the government ensure they would get a somewhat predictable level of knowledge and behaviors from young people entering the workforce. This model worked perfectly for the industrial era, which valued obedience, punctuality, and uniform outputs. The system wasn't designed for students to optimize creativity or individualization, but was designed to produce workers that were capable of fitting into the needs of the industrial economy. Today, the world has shifted into an entirely new direction. The modern economy rewards problem solving, the ability to adapt, and creativity. Modern technology also makes it possible for people to learn the information that they want at their own pace and can be accessed almost instantly. But systems at this scale are difficult to redesign and often change at a much slower pace than the world around them, as elements like policies, teacher training programs, and more are all interconnected. Things like bells and standardized curriculum that made the system so potent in the industrial era are now much less effective because they were developed to solve a problem that no longer exists. Most people understand this, but not much is being done to change the education system, because systems this large usually prioritize stability over rapid transformation. The takeaway here isn't necessarily that schools are bad. It's that systems like the education system were designed to solve problems that may no longer be consistent with the problems that we're facing today. And by analyzing this system, we can begin to understand its constraints and how it can be adjusted to align more closely with the world we're currently living in. And looking at the education system from this perspective can also open the doors for us to begin looking at other systems that may be holding on to elements that are no longer relevant today. And this isn't only applicable to massive systems. It can also be applied on a personal level to identify what systems in your own life may need to be adjusted. If you want to go deeper into systems like this, I put together a free beginner's guide to modern systems. It breaks down what a system is, as well as a few prominent modern systems in a simple way, and is a great place to start if you're wanting to start better understanding systems. You can download it using the link in the description that will also add you to my email list, where I'll be sharing new system breakdowns, updates, and resources as they come out. This guide is completely free and was designed with the intention of helping you learn these concepts so you can start applying them to your own work.